negative now.
All righty, we are back. This is Seminoles Sideline 365. It is 3:30 Saturday, post-game show. Florida State wins 29-17, taking down the Ragin Cajuns in very, very lopsided game, which, they beat the money line or beat the spread. Which I think was expected. And we said however the first half went, the game would go. Our first quarter went, the game would go. And that's what happened today. So, like I said, Florida State wins dominating fashion. Garbage time basically started in the second quarter. And after halftime, it was basically all backups and third stringers. So, whether you're not, there's not a ton to talk about in my mind, but how would you rate the game? How do you think the team played overall?
First of all, KB, you don't have to drink the hot sauce, buddy. Oh no, that's for that high school game that our guest called for tomorrow. That's still on there, but no hot sauce for the old man today. Going with the Bud Light, baby. Bud Light. You want to sponsor us? We're for you. Always grab a good Bud, nice and cold.
There you go.
I'm not done yet. What do you mean? There you go. Not done yet. Listen, the game was not in doubt after the first 3 possessions by the Noles. And I got the victory glasses on, by the way. Yeah. The first 3 possessions, according to my notes, we scored, right? Yeah. Okay, I got to take off the victory glasses here so I can freaking see. The first 3 possessions, we score touchdown, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to go through the narrative of that. But after that, you're up 21 points in the first quarter. The Ragin Cajuns showed no answers or response on defense. They didn't have much of an offense. You could tell they were overmatched. Okay, I think the Ragin Cajuns, a nice bunch of guys and fans. A few fans came down from Lafayette, and I think they were good, welcome fans there in the Doak. But this team wasn't even close. Okay, this game was not close to being a football game. It was the result was not in doubt from the first 3 possessions. It was a matter of 2 things. When would the starters get pulled by the Noles, and how many injuries would we sustain in the game that could affect next week against the arch rival Florida Gators? Okay. And what, for me and for you, mainly me, the money game. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The money game. That's when the second half of the money game comes into play. Not really a battle. I've got a few notes I'd like to go over. A couple of things we can clean up. That's my initial take, brother. What's yours? And I thought the second half, I thought it was kind of a boring game. It was kind of a Duquesne boring type game.
Yeah, after the first half, it was just because it was all backups and it was really garbage time. So all the stats in the second half are basically, you can take it with a grain of salt, everything Louisiana did in the second half in terms of what they did offensively. Just they're playing starters against third stringers, backups, and stuff like that. So take it for what that is. But yeah, in the first half, I think we moved the ball effectively. You saw Trey Benson get, how many rushes did he get tonight?
16 for 80, I think. Yeah.
With probably basically no touches in the second half. So, I mean, if this game was close, you probably would have seen 20, 25 touches. You would have seen him eclipse 100 yards easily. He got a little banged up and then went back in the game, which is good to see. So it was good that you didn't have to put any more wear and tear on him. But unfortunately, he couldn't get over 100 yards. I think he easily could have.
He would have.
If you would have. But it was more about, you didn't have to. But, you established the run game early, just like you have the past 3 weeks. We're able to get 5, 6, 7 yards per run. And the offensive line did a great job for, finding those holes and the running backs being patient. You saw Ward get in there a couple of times. A couple of things there. I don't like this Wildcat play calling. I know you scored on it twice. I just think that, it worked out for you against a team like Louisiana. Around the goal line, you did it and it worked out. Ward made a great play. Well, actually, it was a 34-yard run, so it wasn't near the goal line, but he made a great cut. That was a third down, I think, made that cut. The next time you do it, he falls over a lineman. And then the next time you do it, again, Ward is able to make a great play around it and score. So overall, I just don't like plays like that because you take the ball out of a playmaker's hands like Jordan Travis, and he can do multiple things. He can run, pass, and he's a dynamic playmaker. I don't know why we're going back to the things that caused us issues in the past with turnovers and fumbles and tackles for loss. And we're trying to get back into getting cute with the ball when we have when Travis can do both those things. And it's like you're forcing it. But, today it worked out for you. Ward was able to make plays with the ball in his hands with that Wildcat look. But I hope we don't go back to trying to get way too cute with our play calling. We just bang it forward or put the ball in Travis's hands and make sure that he makes the right play call. But yeah, overall, I think there was a couple of dropped balls here and there. The other main thing for me was you didn't have to pass the ball a whole lot today. And for the past couple of weeks, you haven't had to pass the ball a lot. And I do think that I'm getting concerned that we have it. And there's been a couple of times where I think the accuracy has been a little bit off. Like Malik McLean made an unbelievable catch in the back of the end zone. And Travis did a great job of putting it where he could on that rollout. But Malik McLean made an unbelievable catch in the back of the end zone. But I think it comes to an issue of if we find a team, whether it's Florida, whether it's a bowl game, whether it's next year, that is able to stop the run, which there will be teams that are able to stop the run. Are we able to find that intermediate pass game? It can't all be 50-yard bombs. Are we able to find a consistent 7 to 15-yard pass game consistently? Can those receivers get open and can we hit those throws? And in the past 3 or 4 weeks, when we tried to do that, I feel like either guys haven't been getting the open and Jordan's had to make plays with his legs, or we haven't had to because we've been getting 7 to 8 yards per rush. Or when we haven't converted on third down, that's the reason why, because we couldn't find the open receiver or the guy, and he's had to throw it away. So I'm a little concerned about that intermediate passing game. But once again, we haven't had to pass the ball. It hasn't had to be a part of this offense the past couple of weeks, and today obviously it wasn't either. Now will Florida be able to get it, be able to shut down the run or contain it so that Jordan has to go back into passing mode? We'll see. But that's the only kind of concern I still have with this offense. And where the hell is Johnny Wilson? With all these FSU insiders that are on Twitter and all these other social media spaces, none of these verified folks could figure out where the hell Johnny Wilson was today or what was going on with him. So hopefully we'll find out what those FSU insiders can get us on him, or at least Mike Norvell probably won't tell us during his press conference right now, but we'll hopefully figure that out. But those are my main takeaways.
Let's go back to Trayshawn Ward. It was great to see him out playing. That's always good. Yeah. You need good quality running backs.
Yeah.
Your thing about the Wildcat. Yeah, I'm not sure what the methodology of the Wildcat, because it's like you're not going to throw the ball at that point. You're pretty much, the odds of Trayshawn Ward taking the snap, dropping back, and throwing a pass out to Jordan Travis is probably not a good idea.
No.
It really for the defense shows that it's coming back to me. I'm going to pick wherever the hell I want to run it. That it's going to be my eyes, and I'm going to run the football somewhere in the interior here. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure what the strategy is for that. Maybe we'll see in the Florida game. Maybe there's a trick coming off of that or something. I don't know. I don't totally disagree with you on that, but it was great to see Trayshawn Ward back in the game. Like I said, after the first 3 possessions, there really wasn't going to be a game. It was a matter of what the score would be, how many injuries we would pick up. But I do have some notes, like you were saying. Kentron Portier, some games he has a great game. He'll have 4 or 5 catches. He's had a couple games like that. But he'll have drop balls that he should catch, kind of like we've seen from Johnny Wilson now and then. But Kentron has outstanding potential, just like Malik McClain. That catch he made in the end zone, as you mentioned, was fabulous. I mean, that's a game-winning catch in a big game.
Yeah.
So that was huge. Kentron came back to catch a couple of balls, but he has that potential to be a big time receiver. He just needs to get on that ball machine all damn summer or something. I don't know, but you can't drop those sure ones, because in a close big game could be the difference. Could be the difference of getting a first down or having to punt the ball away, losing a possession. Johnny, now after that touchdown that Trayshawn Ward had, that 2-yard touchdown run, he looked like he went to hold his hamstring.
Now,
was that it's
like a
is that an inside joke?
It's a TikTok celebration thing.
Oh, okay. To show the coach, get the coach a little.
No, it's just something kids do. These kids, it's a Gen Z.
Okay. Look, I'm sorry, I'm not of that Gen Z shit. I got my old throwback jersey on. This is an old late 60s Florida State jersey.
You and Burt Reynolds.
That my bro, who was an alumni there in the 60s, got this for me when I was a little kid, and I was following the Seminoles in the 60s. So how about that? And I still got it. So I thought that the first half was all Seminoles, 35-3. It wasn't even a question. The defense, I thought, played very well in the first half. Weren't we a little surprised? Did we get sandbagged by our friend Nick with the Ragin Cajuns that Ben Wooldridge was going to play, would be the starter? Did he play us? Nick, if you're out there, did you play us? Did you sandbag us? Did you have any clue? Or maybe the coach, like Coach Dorvell, he deceived everybody, right? So I don't know there, Nick. If you're listening, you need to write us and tell us what the hell went on with that. Ben Wooldridge didn't play. He's out for the season. Yeah. So they did a good job disguising that. Chandler Fields, few starts because of when Wooldridge has been out, but he was basically ineffective in this game. And, that's not a big surprise here. They had a lot of, they had 3 points in the first half, and that was that. Few other notes that I had. I was glad to see our tight end play increase a little bit. The tight ends were starting to get the ball more. Maybe that is part of the overall Norvell experience on offense, but I thought that was good because that makes the defense really have to watch everybody. I like how this offense is coming together. It keeps the defense really off balance of where the ball is going to go. It's like the point guard, Jordan Travis, in basketball. That's a different story. But, distributing the ball around to different people from sideline to sideline.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to take to beat the Florida Gators and a bowl team. That's what it's going to take. So the tight end play I thought was good. Offensive line play was solid, even with the backups in there. I thought they played pretty solidly. It was great. That even though a game's boring and we dominate a team, that's what we expect from this Florida State team now. We expect the domination on an experience against an opponent that should be dominated, not playing around with them, not putting yourself in jeopardy, letting it come down to a field goal, and so on. It also allows you to roll other players in there who are eager to get on the field, and you're eager to get them there for reps and for player development. Okay. We saw AJ, we saw Tate, we saw AJ, and we saw Alex English in there. That's fantastic.
Gino English.
I'm sorry, Gino English. And that's fantastic. See, that goes. And I saw my guy, Mickey Russo, the famed punt returner preferred walk on from where the hell was it? Columbia? Columbia, right? And he was in there catching a ball too. So I thought that was fantastic to get those young linemen, both on defense and offense, in there. And that's what you do in a game like this. You get your starters out and you play these other guys, okay? You play these other guys. You mentioned during the game, I think, about I want to talk about Kayshawn Hilton for a minute.
I don't know.
You saw him on the sideline. He was not in uniform?
I didn't see him. It was reported that he's out for the remainder of the year, but he was just celebrating with teammates.
Is he redshirting a year?
I don't think he can. I think he's. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not going to say anything because I don't know anything.
We don't know.
Just what people have reported is that he's done for the season, but he was on the sidelines.
So he's kind of a mystery player for us. And as you said, because you and I were tweeting just a little bit, I said, where the hell is Johnny Wilson? I didn't see him on the field. I didn't see him dressed. He didn't play, obviously. And I haven't heard anything. And I hope I didn't miss something. Maybe we missed something. I don't think so. But if there's anybody out there listening, if they have any idea about Johnny Wilson and what his status is, and you know for a fact and is verified, send us the answer. Because I don't know what the hell happened to him.
He was on the field, I thought, for at least one play, and then
he was
out. That's what people are saying.
I didn't see the depth chart this week. I didn't.
No, the depth. He was on the depth chart. It's not like he was
not that's a big deal. That's all a disguise, anyways.
Yeah, he was on the first drive. I don't know outside of that, but once again, he wasn't needed.
He wasn't needed. The pass game wasn't needed. You could have beat them without throwing any passes downfield. Yeah. You literally could have. Yeah. And run up the score if you'd have left the starters in there. Yeah. The defense solid. They had like 5 or 6 sacks.
Had 5. Yeah.
I really love the development of our young linemen. Farmer, Peyton. All these guys. Verse had a decent game. He showed his speed rush on that one play, but he should have. Verse had how many sacks? 1.
He had 1. I don't see. That's
great to see Deuce Span out there running around a little bit. So this team seems to have peaked at the right time now.
Yeah.
And they're healthy. I didn't see a lot of who's Cooper's running mate there?
Fabian Lovett?
Yeah, Lovett. I didn't see a lot of Lovett today. Did you? Even in the first half? I did. He's been very quiet. Him and Coop were really.
I just don't think they're. I don't think their name gets called, but I think they just make that difference. You're not.
Oh, they make a difference in there to hold the middle of the line.
Yeah, exactly.
To hold people up. They take up at least 3 guys.
Yeah, Patrick Payne made some good plays again today, which is great to see.
Yeah. So he's they're kind of quiet but effective. That's what counts. Yeah. Other than that, that was what I saw. I don't really have any questions except the ones I've raised. Pittman had an injury, had a legitimate injury. He went in and came out in street clothes, didn't play anymore. And so you kind of wonder where that is, because if you have a quad, if you have a hamstring or, injury, those things are nagging. And going into next week, it can limit you just a little bit. And they can go out real quick. I don't care. Even if you have a week off, it's still going to be there. It does. A hamstring injury, a groin injury doesn't go away in a week. Okay.
Yeah. And then Norvell's press conference after the game, he gave no updates on any of the injuries.
Anybody ask about Wilson?
Not that I see.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable that and I hope I'm not wrong here, not one local FSU beat reporter would ask about where the hell was Johnny Wilson today.
I mean,
unless that question was answered earlier in the week and I missed it. And if I did, I'll eat that. You didn't see anything, right?
No, I mean, he was on the depth chart. So I don't know if he got banged up on that first drive. He was just kind of walking around, like on his cutting, he got hurt, and they took him out as precautionary, and they're saying he's just banged up. I don't know, but so you potentially could be down 2 receivers next week, which could be a storyline. So that's something that,
and he's a big threat. Johnny Wilson not in the game.
It's not even that's just that. He's a blocker too.
Well, absolutely.
He's a big blocker on the outside.
Yeah, he's a beast on the outside.
So that's more. I think that's the
issue.
Especially with Pittman too. Pittman, he's your second leading receiver, but he's also he blocks really well in the running game and on the receiver screen. So I think if we're missing both those guys, that's going to be a big talking point next week. But once again, Florida just lost to Vanderbilt for the first time since 1988. So
what was the final? What was the final?
They lost by 7.
Okay.
So they're a dumpster fire too.
Was that in the swamp
at Vanderbilt?
Oh, that was at Vanderbilt.
But Vanderbilt's a 5-win team.
You know what? But when you come to a state rivalry game like this, we're not a team.
I know, but at the same time, Florida State should win this game. They have to win this game.
Well, I understand that.
There's no reason. This isn't a Florida team that's light years ahead of them. This is you lose this game if you beat yourself. You have every ability to win this game at home. The only way you lose is if you're not prepared. That's in my eyes.
I agree. And if we were to lose to Florida, we really have to reassess the entire season of who we really beat and who we lost to.
Yeah.
I mean, because then that would come into play. Yep. It would really come into play, and then we have to kind of re-examine some things. We have to ask more questions. So hopefully about some of the player availability going into the game, those questions will be answered. Obviously, they weren't answered at the press conference at post-game. Hopefully they'll be answered Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I would expect Monday of something. But I think Norvell's going to keep it very close to the vest. We're not going to know shit until game time, right? Yeah. And the game is on Saturday, right? Saturday night.
It's Friday night.
Oh, Friday night. Okay. I thought they said Saturday night today. Okay. Friday night post-Thanksgiving on Thursday. So that will be very, very interesting to see how that plays out. Quickly, on the stats that I kind of cover on the FBS teams we play against, and the Ragin Cajuns are FBS. They're not FCS. They became FBS a few years ago. On rushing offense today, we definitely increased our thing there. We had 251 yards. So we're going to increase our standings there. Rushing defense, we're going to increase our numbers there. Scoring offense, we're at 32.6. We're going to increase there. Scoring defense, we're going to increase there. Our stats, red zone conversion, we were a perfect 6 for 6 today. You've got an increase ramping up there. Penalties, generally 68 yards. We only had 40-some yards. That's an increase, so that's good. Third down conversions, we had 11 of 15. We were at 48%, so we're better there, marginally better there. Turnover margin, we didn't do much there. We put 2 balls on the ground, but we got them both back.
Yeah,
we got them both back. Time of possession was about the same. So, given that,
I mean,
but we had a good day.
Yeah, I mean, so and you're not you're not applying coverage time rules to it either. But but you'll improve everything.
We improved everything just in the first half.
Yeah,
on those numbers alone, we improved everything there.
Yeah.
So other than that, I don't really have any other questions besides what we've said. What other thoughts or questions do you have?
No, I think that's really it. Like you said, you got to rest a lot of guys. Jordan Travis stayed healthy. the big questions for next week are what are the availability of your two starting receivers? Is Trey Benson? It seems like he's ready to go, but is he fully healthy? And is he good to go for next week? And will this team be able to still I establish the run like they have, or will they open up the passing game? Because like I said, we haven't opened up the passing game in the last 4 weeks in terms of we haven't had to push the ball down the field using Travis's arm. It's all big runs, big run, and then some kind of trick play or on Miami it was the 60-yard pass, whatever it was. But we haven't had to do that medium size passing game yet. So when that time comes, are we going to be able to do it? So but really following this injury news, and like you said, I don't think we're going to hear anything about it. I think it's going to be played close to the vest, and we won't find out probably till game time if we're missing Johnny or if we're missing Micah. And how does that affect special teams? I thought Jamie Robinson played really well in returning. He was aggressive on catching the ball. On that one, he got up right on it and made got a 5-6 yards on it. He didn't drop the ball. He seems confident back there catching the ball. I don't think there will be as much of a drop off in the kick return game as I thought there may be, or the punt return game as I thought there would be. But it's good to see Jamie. At least Jamie got in there and was able to get some reps, and it looks like he's been getting reps anyway because he looked comfortable back there. But he
had some good hits too. He's an aggressive safety. He's an aggressive. He's trying to put it on film. He's going to go. He's already. When the run support, and he had a lot of chances to play run support in the first half, and man, he comes slamming up in there. When that back's coming through, he's great. He's an aggressive, very physical player. He's not a super big guy. He's not a super big guy, but he is an aggressive guy, and I think that's going to play well for him. I think that's going to play well for him when he starts out and he goes to the next level. In that regard. But other than that, the only other thing I had left during the game, I was snacking on another non-sponsor, and this is called Double Good Caramel Corn. It's like popcorn, and this is a charity thing that I purchased for one of my grandchildren. Now, it was pretty expensive corn, okay? But I have to tell you that Double Corn, manufactured in Burr Ridge, Illinois, American made, baby. And today was salute to the military and the vets. That was fantastic. Plus, they honored, the UVA. We took a moment of silence, and a very tragic. UVA canceled their game, rightfully so. On the back of the helmets, we had the UVA sticker, and that's an ongoing tragedy that we have spoken about. But during the game, I did feast on this corn. It was fantastic, and I mean that. I had my doubts, but it was fantastic. So this week, as I said, this is money week right here, buddy. This is the money week, and you know the deal. I said, and I'm going to repeat it, after repeated no callbacks from Coach Norvell and Cooper about me taking him on in a foot race at practice, okay, no callbacks, ring, ring, no callbacks. I upped the ante. I said it went from $250 to $500. Call me crazy. $500 if they beat Miami. That was step one. That's off the board. And if they beat the Florida Gators this coming week, $500 to a local charity of our choosing in the Tallahassee area if Norvell pulls that off.
All right. Well, we'll find out in less than 7 days.
Right here, baby. Right here.
There you
okay.
Go.
And it's all for charity. And if anybody out there wants to join in, you don't have to join in at the $500 level. You can join in at the $100 level. Is it worth $100 to see them beat the Gators, and you'll give it to a local charity of the ones we pick, or you can pick your own? I don't care. But it's for charity. The bottom line is, this next game is huge game. It's always a huge game. You could be 0-10 going into this game. And if you beat the Florida Gators, you've made the year. Yeah. It's a big game for Norvell. It's a big game for this program, and it's a big game for the fan base. If they're buying in,
yeah.
And this team now, you don't have to hype these guys for this game. They don't have to buy in. They already know this game, and it's going to be interesting. Don't expect them to be Duquesne. Don't expect them to be the Ragin Cajuns. Don't expect them to be the same team that lost to Vanderbilt today.
Yeah.
They're very capable of having a good game and of beating a team. They are a dangerous team. And what is their record now? Do they need this game to go to a bowl game?
They're 6-5, I believe now.
Oh, they're already bowl eligible.
Yeah.
But this is like a bowl game. This is a playoff game, and it will be a playoff game atmosphere. The stadium will be packed. It's a primetime night game, and it is huge for this FSU.
Yeah, and the big thing out of that Florida game too, other than them losing to Vanderbilt, is that they'll be out their top defensive player who got a targeting penalty, so he'll be out the first half of that game. So
wow,
Florida State will have the ability to come out strong in the first half, like they've done all these weeks. With one of their top linebackers out on Trail Miller.
What were the stats? Do you have the stats that Vanderbilt put on them today? Quickly,
yeah,
the total stats.
It was a low scoring game. I can pull them up real quick.
I'd just be interested in the type of offensive stats that Vanderbilt was able to put on them.
It was ugly. It was very ugly. Let me.
And Anthony Richardson is still their quarterback, of course.
I know.
And let me say this while you're looking at that. We like to have guests come on our show, the insiders for our opponents. We will not be inviting a Gator insider. We don't invite Miami insiders. We don't invite Gator insiders. We don't need that shit, okay? We don't need them to tell us how great they are and what they got going on and all that. We don't need that. Yeah, B. Riley. B. Riley told you it'd be a blowout. Doubt me again. I love that. Okay. Well, I said they'd cover the spread, B. Riley. I said they'd cover the spread.
I thought it'd be close to the spread. I have to go look back. I thought it would be close in the first quarter.
He's talking about FSU game. He's not talking about the Gator game.
FSU game. But I thought it'd be closer in the first quarter. But I didn't think it would be that massive a blowout. But I thought it'd be close to the spread. But
okay.
It was
okay. So let's finish up on the Gators here. The Gators are going to be they're like a wounded Gator.
I guess
they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be dangerous, and you can't make mistakes. You can't let all of a sudden you've been very disciplined in avoiding penalties. All of a sudden you let your emotions get going, and you start punching guys on the field, and then you're ejected or something. If you do that, if you get out of your game plan and you get out of what you do, this game could be close and it could come down to a final drive or play. If you allow that to happen, you have put an entire season, underwater.
No, Florida State next week is going to have to. I think they're going to have to. They're going to have to score points. You have to score points, obviously, but I think they're going to have to air at the ball, and I think it'll be the first time that we haven't seen a capable offense throw on Florida State. And I think Florida State has good defensive backs. I don't think we have great defensive backs outside of Jamie Robinson.
Okay,
so and I don't think Anthony Richardson's.
He put up 400 yards today.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's an elite quarterback. I don't think Vanderbilt is obviously a good defense either. But I think they're going to try to. They're going to try to throw on these defensive backs, and it's going to be up to. I mean, we saw even on our backups. Even in the first half, some of the Louisiana was able to get some passes on some of our DBs, and the guys just dropped them. So it's going to be up to our DBs. I think our DBs next week are going to have.
They're going to get tested.
Florida doesn't have a great running game, so
no.
If we can totally shut down the running game and keep Anthony Richardson's mobility in check, this could be a very easy win. But that's the thing; you have to keep his mobility in check, and if he breaks contain. You got to stay on your guy. You can't let him do the Jordan Travis thing where he breaks contain and then hits a guy wide open, like we saw in the second half of today's game on that big pass that Louisiana had, where the guy broke out, found
down
the guy,
to the 2-yard line.
40, to the 2-yard line. So I think that'll be the interesting thing is how do we contain his athleticism?
Yeah, some of this KB might have been they were down. They were down like a couple of touchdowns, so they had to throw the ball late a lot to get back in.
It was close.
So they might have gotten a lot of those pass yards late too. But 400 yards is nothing to sneeze at.
No.
Okay, he had 3 touchdowns, and he had 400 yards. It shows he's a big guy too. He's a big guy. So he go back and he can throw the ball.
The Florida State DBs are going to get tested next week. And if they can step up and they can shut down and win their matchups, then Florida State, I think, wins this game easily. But we'll discuss that. We'll discuss it next week. They got to be prepared, though, to win those matchups and contain those guys on the outside and be able to contain. And guys like Deloach and Bethune got to be able to mark Anthony Richardson and take him down in one-on-one.
Well, the pressure from the interior line and the defensive ends. We got to pressure.
Those ends got to be able to hold those outside and not just run past the guy or break inside and he comes outside. So, but we'll break that down.
This is going to be a different animal. Let's face it. Okay, and this is a different animal. There's going to be a lot of chit chat going back and forth on the Twitter and social media. And I hope the team stays focused as a business approach to this game, because this is a dangerous team and they can beat you because they have played quality opponents all year round, except for their SCS ones. They play quality opponents in the SEC. So they're nothing to be taken lightly, even with the record that they have. And if you do that, that's a mistake. If you do that, and that'll be very obvious. But there will be a lot more variety of play calling for us next week. The run game, we're going to rush the football. We're going to do the play action. You're going to see more counters than you did today. Today was straight ahead. Today was pretty much straight ahead. And you will see more passing game. Jordan Travis will have to put the ball up 20 plus times or more. No doubt. And Benson should get a lot of carries next week. Him and Ward will be carrying the load for the most part. But this will be a different game. It always is. I don't care what the records are. It always is a close game. I don't think we're going to blow them out.
No.
Fans think that. I think you're thinking wrong. And B. Riley, if you think we're going to blow them out, at Dagby, Florida has capabilities, but do they have the will and the drive? They will in this game, Dagby. This is a state championship.
But we said that against Miami too.
It's bragging
right.
I think Florida's a better team than Miami. I think they're better coached
than
than
Miami.
Miami.
Same record, right?
Well, but I think Florida probably is a better team. We're gonna find out. But if the Seminoles play the way they know how to play, and they've been on cruise control now, because I would say this team that we played today, Ragin Cajuns, was probably the second worst team we played this year, right? Duquesne being the worst.
I mean, if you look at like the FPI rankings and stuff like that, I think they're a little bit. They're actually, they're like in the hundreds. So they're probably.
Are they better than BC?
Probably.
BC's
awful.
Are they better than who the hell else?
They're probably just better than BC.
Are they better than Georgia Tech?
Probably not.
Okay. No. So I think I want to tell you, this will be one of the better teams we have played this year.
Yeah.
That's my thing. And I think it will be. I can't wait to see what the spread is. Maybe the spread's already out. I'll bet it'll be.
It hasn't been posted yet.
I'll bet it'll be 7 points or under.
Yeah. It'll be. But once again, we'll talk about this next week.
Which the Vegas insiders will tell you that Florida's a dangerous team and they can beat you.
Yeah.
Okay. If they're having a good day and Richardson put up 400 yards today, that's enough to beat you. Okay.
Wasn't enough to beat Vanderbilt though.
No. I know that. I don't know how many turnovers they had. They had one interception. But we'll get into that this week.
Yeah, we can talk.
We'll get into that Wednesday night. Wednesday night, the big Gator preview, brother.
Yeah. And if you're wondering, the video's not out yet, but Dylan Gibbons got to break the rock today. So
oh, he did?
That'll be I'm sure that'll be posted here relatively shortly.
Oh, that's good.
On social media. So that's pretty cool.
Well, that's cool. That's excellent. He's starting to wind down his career.
Yeah.
So this is a huge game for the seniors. They've had a rough go in this program. The ones who have stuck with it. What a great way to go out. You beat Miami, you beat Florida, you win. We're now 8-3.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we're 8-3.
Yep.
Yeah, we're 8-3. You got a chance for 9 wins, maybe 10-win season in the highest ranking we've had in years. So this is an absolute opportunity. Now that we've gotten rid of the hot sauce and we move on to the Gators.
Absolutely.
So from myself, I want to wish everybody out there. Oh, we can do that Wednesday night. I forgot Wednesday night.
All right. Well, with that, we will go ahead. If it says pedestrians Black Friday, I'll tell you where today they'll lose. Well, we'll see. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss that. Bring that energy on Wednesday night. On Wednesday night, we'll do our Florida preview show. Break it all down since that'll be a nice Thanksgiving treat, pre-Thanksgiving treat. So you can watch us then or watch it, get away from your family and friends on Thursday. And then you'll have it ready for Friday's game. So, join us on Wednesday live. If not, watch us on recording. Thanks again for joining us today. Once again, final score from Tallahassee, 49-17. Florida State contains the Cajuns. We'll see you guys on Wednesday, and have a great rest of the weekend.
Please subscribe.
Yes.
Please. We don't beg a lot for that, but it helps us. It helps us get
a video like,
tell the podcast there.
We appreciate it. And if you want to listen, YouTube, Spotify, all those channels, Google Podcasts, you can listen to us. But like the video, share. We really appreciate the support, guys. It really helps out a lot. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you all on Wednesday.
Take it easy. Pour out the hot sauce.
See you guys.